filter context. That means in your Excel, if you want to multiply two values, okay, I have value 10 over here, I have value over 20. If you want to multiply, if you want to use these two cells, this is a one cell, right? And this is another cell. I want to multiply these two, or I want to add these two values and I want to derive a new value. Is it possible? Equal 10 plus 20. It is giving 30. Can we do the same thing in Power BI in your data level? We cannot, right? Can you sum this value and this value? It's not possible. The cell level calculations you can do only in Excel, but in the Power BI always you have to do in the either entire row level or in the column level. That's all. Okay, right. If you observe here, whatever the total sales amount I have created, I want to remove this one. Whatever the total sales amount I have created, when I am creating, I am just taking simply sum of sales amount. I didn't write anything like sum of sales amount for category wise or subcategory wise or product wise like that. I want to use this measure, just drag and drop over here. So it is giving accessories, the total sales amount is this one. Bikes, it is this one. Clothing, this one. Okay, I want to add subcategory also. Then again it is filtering the data under accessories. For bikes, this is the sales amount. But when we are writing a measure here, this measure, we haven't apply any filters. Okay, give sales amount for bikes, racks, bike stands. We are just using sales amount. Then how it is filtering the data when it is displaying over here? If you are removing subcategory from here, it is giving proper data for accessories, bikes, clothing. That means this measure value is applying a filter for each row, whatever the value you are drag over here. Automatically it is doing the calculation. How it is doing? In your model, if you observe, your category having relationship with the subcategory and subcategory having relationship with the product and product having relationship with the fact sales amount. The fact sales amount you are using in the calculated measure. Let's say this product category having relationship with subcategory and this with this and this with this, and then finally it is finally it is over here. When you are dragging a product category name into your table in the report and dragging the calculated measure whatever created by using this sales amount, sum of sales amount, what is happening? The sales amount, it is filtering each row wise based on the category name. How? Because of this relationship. That is a row level filter context. Row level context. So without specifying anything in your measure, When you are writing measure, you haven't applied anything. Okay, I want sales amount for each category, or I want to sales amount for each product wise, I want sales amount for each subcategory wise. But how it is doing? If you are dragging category, it is giving the sales amount for category. If you are dragging a product subcategory, it is giving a subcategory wise as well. See, by default, for the calculated measures, if we have the relationships over here, it will apply the filter context. Okay, right. So this is the row level context. You can apply a filter level context. That means this calculated measure is acting based on the row value whatever you have over here. I want to write down, I want to create a calculated measure to filter the values, for a particular category only. Let's see here. I have each category wise what is the sales amount. Accessories 7,000, bikes 28 million, clothing. I want to show another category over here, another calculated measure, but that I want to display only for bikes. Only bikes I want to filter. How can you filter that one? So in this single measure, you have to write down sum of fact internet sales amount, and you have to filter the category name. So how can you evaluate this function and one more filter condition? If you want to evaluate your functions, two different things in a single measure, you have to use the function that is calculate function. Whenever you are writing the measures, calculated measures, if you are trying to use more than one function, definitely go to the calculate. Calculate is a function to evaluate whatever the functions and logic you are going to use inside as a single session or a single scope. So how to write down? So I want to create another function, another calculated measure, new measure. This is total sales for bikes, only bikes. Then calculate expression. What expression? What do you want to do? I want to sum of fact internet sales. I want to sum of this one. For what region, comma. So here you have to write down the filter condition. What filter condition? On what table you want to filter the data? I want to filter on the product category, dim product category, English product category name equal to bikes. Done. A new calculated measure is created. Okay, now I want to drag and drop this one. What is happening here? The total sales amount for bikes is this much, and then you are getting the same thing. It is not filtering here. Accessories, actually the sales amount is this one. It is filtering automatically for the sum of the sales amount. But when you are applying a filter over inside, then it is displaying here. For this calculated measure, it is not applying any filter. This calculated measure data, this is only for the bike sales amount. I want to compare a particular bike sales amount with all the other categories. I will take one simple chart or a line chart I will take. Okay, English port category wise. Okay, and the total sales and this one. Okay, I will take yeah, this is perfect. Line chart, sorry. Where is the line clustered? Okay, yeah, no problem, you can use this one. So this is your total sales amount for bikes, and your total sales amount for others. Of course, bikes category is here. For accessories, clothing is here. Then there is a lot of difference between your bikes. I just want to compare my sales amount for all the categories against the bikes. I just want to compare my sales amount against with the for a particular one category sales amounts. That is the reason I have created two measure. One measure will give the bike sales amount for each category, and another one is giving only specific to bikes. Here the row level context is not working because you have already a filter. This filter is overriding your filter, whatever is by default it is applying over here. By default for the measure, it is applying a filter condition based on the row value whatever you have. But in the first case, it is not applying outside filter because there is no filter we have mentioned inside the calculated measure. Simply we are taking sum of total sales amount. Then by default whatever the filter it is going to apply over here, it is applying. But in the second measure, what is happening? Our calculated measure filter, whatever you are applying over here, it is overriding the filter conditions, whatever here. Normally, it should filter the accessories. When this calculated measure is going to execute, what will happen? For this sales amount, it has to apply the accessories and it will display the accessory sales amount. Then for bikes, it should apply and it has to display the sales amount for bikes. But why it is displaying for all bikes? Because it is overriding each filter condition over here with the filter whatever you have applied over here. Clear or any confusion?
No, Ram, I guess you need to explain it again. Is it possible?
Okay. So when I am creating a calculated measure, the first measure is what is it? Simple sum of sales amount. That's all right. When I am dragging the sum of sales amount over here, and I want to see the sales amount each category wise, what is happening? It is filtering the sales amount is filtering each category wise, whatever. Okay, for accessories, this much. For bikes, this much. For clothing, this much. For components, nothing is there. But when you are coming to the second measure, this measure is also similar, sum of sales amount. But the only difference is we are applying a explicitly one filter over here. This sum of sales amount is only for bikes, right? Okay. So when you are dragging this measure here, it should apply the filter, right? Accessories, what is the sales amount? Bikes, what is the sales amount? But it is not filtering. What is the reason? Because we have applied already a filter. Then when it is going to apply the filter by using this value, it is overriding your filter with whatever already you have there. Bit confusion, you will understand. Normally, that is the row level context filter. Any measure when you are creating a simple with sum of sales amount, when you are drag and drop that into your visual based on the value. See, basically, when you are creating here, it is not, we are not specifying, okay, sales amount for accessories, sales amount for bikes, sales amount for clothing, sales amount for components. But how it is giving these values, exact values. When you are drag and drop this one, internally, this visual sending a filter conditions for each category name. When you are drag and drop this measure over here, total it is creating 5 formulas. One formula is sum of factory trade sales amount, comma, product category name equal to accessories. So it is giving this result. And again the same sum of sales amount and where English product category name equal to bikes. It is giving this result. Then for clothing, then for components, then for this empty. But when you are coming to, because why it is applying these many filters, because there is no filter condition you have applied in your calculated measure. You got my point? Please let me know. But when you are coming to the second one, why it is not applying how many formulas it is creating, then why it is not applying the filter over here, sum of sales amount where category name equal to accessories. Actually that is the formula it is preparing internally, but it is not giving the sales amount for the accessories, it is giving for the bike sales amount. Actually this is a bike sales amount, right? This one, because whatever the formula it is trying to create by filtering with accessories, bikes, clothing components, every time it is going to override with this filter whatever we have. Now you understood, right?
Yeah.
If you are not specifying the filter condition, by default it is trying to filter with these values for each row. If you are applying a filter explicitly, then always it will apply the same filter for each row. That is the reason it is giving only for bike sales amount. Got it? So this is the filter context for a specific data. Specific data means only for bikes category data we are going to filter and displaying over here. This is a row level context, means each row wise the filter is applicable. Okay, you have to understand this, then otherwise it is difficult to write the DAX. Okay, right. So here whatever the sales amount we are displaying over here is bikes. Okay, right. The another scenario, let's say uh, okay, this is for bikes. I want to put a filter in the page level, English product category name on this page level. The filter, this is only for bike sales amount. Then when you are applying a filter in your page level, all the calculated measures also, the filter will applicable for all calculated measures as well. See here, automatically it is filtering bikes only. Even if you are applying a filter in your entire page level, I want to display the total sales amount. What is the actual total sales amount? This is it. Currently, it is displaying whatever it is, only bike sales amount. The total sales amount is 29 million actually. Okay, but in the page level, I want to apply the filter only for bikes. But I want to display a card. What is the total sales amount? Even if you are applying the filter in your page level or anything. So how can you override the existing filter by creating a calculated measure? I want to create a new calculated measure to override the existing page level filters or report level filter, any kind of filter, that is total sales filter. Calculate sum of sales amount, comma, on what table they have applied the filter? English product category name, right? So just take English product category name and open bracket, closed bracket. You have to use a function, all function, and close it. That's all. That means even if you are applying a filter on this English product category name function for product category name column, it will override and it will remove all the filters. That's all. This all function will remove if there is any filters on that. Enter. Okay, I want to take a card and take this measure whatever newly created. See, now it is displaying total sales, accessories, clothing, components, and all those things. If you want to convert this into a table and drag the English port category name, sorry, English port category name, yeah, this is giving the total sales amount over here. But the problem here, it is coming, the category it is filtering bikes, but the measure whatever you have created, it is giving the total sales amount. So when you want to display the total sales amount without any filters in your page level or report level, then you have to use the function is all function. It will override the existing filters on your page level. Actually, I have applied a filter over here. Even you can drag this one into this table also. It will give the total sales amount. See, this is for bikes, this is for bikes. It is applying filters, but here it is not applying any filter. It is giving the whole total sales amount for all categories in your database, in your model. Okay.